Hello, everyone, and welcome to At America TV. My name is James, one of the e-guides here at America, and we welcome audience members joining us online. We hope that you guys are doing well and staying safe as always. In this episode, we'll be having Introduction to TOEFL iBT Part 2 out of 4. But before we begin, let's break the ice with a little game. I have here a question for everybody. When was the TOEFL established? There are several options here. Was it in the 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, or 1990s? Stay tuned until the end of this program because we'll be giving a live shout out to whoever can answer correctly on our social medias. I'd also like to let everyone know that as part of an America's 10th year anniversary celebration, we are handing out vouchers for the TOEFL and an American standardized test of your choice. If you're interested, stay tuned until the end of this program to find out how to get them. Other than that, don't forget to take a selfie and tag at America's Instagram account. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our moderator for today, Kak Santika Salim, at America's very own Education USA advisor. Kak Santika, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, James. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. If this is your first time to, this series, the Introduction to TOEFL iBT, we have 4 parts. So if you miss the first one, don't panic. You can always go to our youtube.com/@America, double A at the back. So you can rewatch them. So I really encourage you, if you just know this and you started from this session, which is the second out of the 4th session for this introduction to TOEFL iBT, stay here and learn from our teachers today. So Ibu Hafil will be the one who is teaching, and stay with us here, and you can rewatch what you missed from YouTube. Okay. And so I will talk about Education USA and our upcoming events. And we did introduction in the first one, so I think you don't need the PPT anymore this time. So I'll just verbally let you know that you can always reach out to Education USA at America and other Education USA centers. But I'm here with the Education USA at America Center. There are 2 advisors here, Fina and me, Santika. And we moved to all digital platforms since the pandemic started. So you can still do advising with us. You can ask us any questions related to studying in the United States. You can reach us in the Zoom for this one-on-one advising. The Zoom ID is 276-124-396. And we are available every day, basically from Sunday to Saturday from 1 until 9 p.m., the same as at America opening hours, except on days when we have events like this, because both of us, Fina and me, are here in the event, so nobody will be able to, handle the Zoom advising room, okay? So then you can reach us not only from the Zoom if you're quite shy or anything like that. You can email us at jakarta.atamerica@educationusa.org. And yep, that's about it. And I don't want to stall for too long. And I just will tell you that we will have another monthly event, CV or resume and letter of recommendation for the US University application, the do's and the don'ts on the 19th. If you're interested, you can go to educationusa.state.gov to register, or at America website at america.or.id/educationusa, and you can scroll down to the bottom of the page and find our event. Okay. All right, so without further ado, we will continue where we left off with Ibu Hafil last week on the first session, and today will be the second session. We will have the 3rd and the 4th on the same day, on Saturday from 11 until 1 p.m. So don't miss the upcoming ones as well. Okay, I'll call up Ibu Hafil. Hi, Ibu Hafil.
Hi, Santika. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, well, you can continue where we left off from last week.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So hopefully most of you who are here okay, did join our last session, yeah, because this is the continued version of the last session. But if you did not join, that's okay, because you will still get a pretty good idea of what we have talked about. All right, so I'm just going to share my screen, right, because of the time. Let me share my screen now. Okay, and I think you can see my PowerPoint slide. Yeah, as Santika has already mentioned, this is an introduction to the TOEFL iBT. So it's just a taste, okay, a taste of what is being assessed, what English, okay, what kind of English is important, that matters when you are assessed using the TOEFL iBT, okay? Now, and just to remind you all that the logo, yeah, the logo for the TOEFL is this T with the green background. And this was, of course, created in 2019, as you can see here, okay, by ETS. Remember that ETS, Educational Testing Service, is the testing body that creates the makers of the TOEFL iBT, okay? And so again, it's been accepted, yeah, by many universities, right? Okay, and I'm not going to go a lot more on that, except to remind you, okay, to remind you that the TOEFL iBT consists of 4 sections. All right, so if you are still familiar with the old TOEFL, right, with the paper-based TOEFL, so it's quite a change now, because you have the speaking and writing sections, right? You have the reading, you have the listening, you have the speaking, as well as the writing. And what's, I think, most exciting about the 2 new parts, the 2 new sections that's been added, is that it has 2 parts, an independent and an integrated part, okay, for these 2 new sections, okay? So we have talked a little bit about the independent speaking last week, and we are going to continue, okay, reviewing a little bit about the independent speaking, and we're going to move on to the integrated one. Before I continue, okay, before we go on to review, just remember that now the score is not the 500, okay, the 550, the 570, but the score is now 120. That's the total score for the IBT, okay? With each section having a score of 30. So please remember that, okay? Please be reminded of that, yeah? And now I'm going to continue to the listening section, okay? So for this first 2 sessions, the first session, I focus more on the listening, on the speaking. Yeah, sorry about that, the speaking section. Yeah, why? Because these 2 sections, speaking and writing, are the most updated one. And I think we all need to be familiar, get acquainted with these 2 sections. So we already discussed last week, right, about answering a question that concerns or is related to a familiar topic, which is what we call the independent speaking type. All right. And the other 4 questions, so you have 4 questions for the speaking part, for the speaking section, and the other 3 questions are the integrated one. All right. So now I'm going to review. For those of you who did not join last week, but for those of you who did, right, you probably still remember this is the type of independent speaking test that we get, yeah? And I'd like you to listen carefully, because this is what you will get on your screen. This is exactly what's going to be on your screen when you take the TOEFL internet base. Yeah, so you have on your screen, you will see a statement there. You will see like what we call like a scenario, right? And this is uh, they're giving you a prompt. Actually, it's a prompt, right? A prompt that stimulates you to respond to this prompt. So the prompt can be read. It's there, the text is there, and it will also be read to you orally. So that means you can listen to it as well. Okay, so let's just listen.
Some universities require first-year students to live in dormitories on campus. Others allow students to live off campus. Which policy do you think is better for first-year students and why? Include details and examples in your explanation.
Right. Okay, so you can see the prompt and you can hear the prompt. And if you see that here, you have the preparation time, 15 seconds. That means you can write your outline, what you want to talk about, what you want to respond. Okay, do you agree that first-year students should live in dormitories on campus? Or do you think that first-year students should live off campus? You will get stationery, meaning that you will get pieces of paper, scrap paper. Yes, now with the TOEFL iBT, they will give you the scraps of paper, right? And you can write some notes, okay? But you only have 15 seconds to do this, and you have 45 seconds to respond, okay? I think some of you, when I asked last week, how do you feel about 45 seconds before you tried it, right? Some of you are going, oh my God, that's too short, right? And so we did try it a little bit. Yeah, some of you, thank you. I hope those people are still with us today, Santika, who very bravely, courageously volunteered, all right, to try out this prompt, yeah? And what I'm going to give you now is not what your friends at that time responded, but I'm going to give you a sample. Now I'm going to give you two samples, all right? So let's listen to two samples of the independent speaking responses. Remember the prompt. The prompt is to choose, and that's what we call a paired choice. Pair, right? A pair. Paired choice. To choose between university students, first-year students, should live on campus on dormitories or off campus. Now, what I want all of you to do, please listen carefully. Now, this is your listening. Please listen carefully and tell me which of the two, right? Which of the two do you think got a higher score? Simple, very simple. Listen carefully. And which do you think of the two responses got a higher score? All right. Okay. So I'm going to play the first one. Yeah. And this is a response to the prompt. Live in dormitories on campus or off campus.
I think the first year students should live on campus. That is because in the first year of especially the first semester, they will have a heavy load of subjects they have to follow, and that means that they have to be able to be on time in campus. And also, the first year of campus life needs them to be familiarized with buildings, with the surroundings, with the environment of the campus itself. So more times in campus will help them to do that. And also, you have to have lots of friends to be able to make yourself at home in the campus. At least this is the home for you for the next 4 years. So it's important to socialize.
Okay. Now, yes, the recording is a bit, you can see the noise, yeah, in the recording, because this is a real authentic test taker response. Okay, when this person took the IBT. Okay, so this is from ETS. All right, this is a sample speaking response from ETS. If you hear the noise, Maybe you hear some of the background noise. Why? Because this person took the test in a test center. And in a test center, I think we already discussed that last week. In a test center, is it going to be noisy? Well, you will hear other people also giving responses as you speak. Okay? There is no test center that's quiet unless you are all alone. Okay, in the room, which is not going to happen if you go to the test center. So you will hear noises from your fellow test takers, from other test takers who are also responding. At the same time, you are responding. Okay, and if you hear that sound, that's purely the recording that we got from ETS. Yeah. Okay. So listen again, one more time. All right, listen again. And I need you to write down maybe a little bit. Did she agree that first-year students should live in dormitories? Or did she agree with first-year students living off campus? And please listen to the response in terms of why she agreed. Did she present? Did she express reasons and examples? Okay, so listen carefully, because this is going to affect on how you will be scored. Okay, listen one more time.
I think the first year students should live on campus. That is because in the first year of especially the first semester, they will have a heavy load of subjects they have to follow. And that means that they have to be able to be on time in campus. And also the first year of campus life, it needs them to be familiarized with buildings, with the surroundings, with the environment of the campus itself. So more times in campus will help them to do that. And also, you have to have lots of friends to be able to make yourself at home in the campus. At least this is the home for you for the next 4 years. So it's important to socialize.
Okay, great. All right. Now, before I continue with this one, I just want to make sure that you are listening. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to stop share just for a minute. All right, and I'm going to ask you in your chat box. They can write in the chat box, right? Santika and America, they can write in the chat box,
yes.
right? Yes.
Everyone is free to use the chat box in Zoom, and if you are not in our Zoom, if you want to ask questions, you can send it to the comment box. Later, our team will pass it to me and Bu Hafid. Okay, Bu.
So my question is, what did she agree with? Live in dormitories, live in campus or off campus? First question, yeah, in campus or off campus, and why? How many reasons did she state in her response? Okay, can I have now people please writing in the chat box? Just want to make sure that everybody is listening. Okay, thank you, Intan. Okay, the reasons, if you can also tell me the reasons. Okay, Christine is not sure. I think she mentioned 3 or 4 reasons according to Christine, yeah? Okay, it's okay, that's okay. All right, just tell me what you got. She chose, okay, guys, okay, she chose who? She chose first-year students should live on campus, right? And she did present a reason, okay? Okay, so the reason, so I'm going to stop here. Thank you for those of you who have joined the chat box, yeah? Okay, so let's go back again, right? You can stop all of you now, and let's go back again to the reasons. I think she mentioned 3 reasons. Number 1, there are lots of things that a first year student have to do, right? That means a heavy load of subject, she mentioned. Some of you said piles and piles of work to do. And therefore, they need to manage their time carefully. So they need to go to campus early, make sure that they're not late. And she said something about on time. That's the first reason. The second reason, she said something about familiarizing first year students, familiarizing themselves with the surroundings. When you live in campus, it's easier. Okay. Number 3, she said about socializing, didn't she? She mentioned something about socializing, about making friends, having lots of friends. And to do that, it's easier when you are in campus, on campus, because it's going to be your home for the next 4 up years. I hope you listen to that. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen again, and I'm going to ask you to listen. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to listen to the second. All right. Are you ready? Now you tell me whether the second person, the second test taker, also have the same opinion about living in campus or off campus.
Policy of students to live in dormitories on campus is better according to me because it gives them time to know about the city, and it is more easy for them to live in dormitories on campus. They don't face much problems. Moreover, it gives them times to find
Okay? Hey, you got that. So I think she also agreed, right? So they have the same opinion that first year students should live on campus, but about the reasons, okay, listen again, one more time. Did she mention, the second test taker, did she mention the reasons?
the policy of students to live in dormitories on campus is better according to me because it gives them time to know about the city, and it is more easy for them to live in dormitories on campus. They don't face much problems. Moreover, it gives them times to find
Okay, yeah, all right. So now, guys, can you please tell me, everyone, can you please tell me which do you think, which of the 2 test takers, which of the 2 responses do you think got a higher score? This is number 1 and this is number 2. Okay, which one? Can you just tell me in the chat box which one, the first or the second? First one. Absolutely. Speaker number 1, Andrea said. Okay, the first one. All right, great. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. Now, I'm going to ask you, if you think, right, if you think that the first one is much better in responding to this prompt, then why? Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why? Okay, Hilal said something about fluency. Yeah, fluency. Okay, come on. Now you have to tell me why. Because she is elaborating the reasons, Icha said. Okay, she gave much concrete and comprehensive reasons. Okay. All right, because she fluent and give the reason and examples. All right, thank you, everyone. Okay, great, good. So I put you as a listener. Yeah. I put you as a listener. This is your mindset. This is the mindset you have to have. When you are responding, when you are speaking, you're speaking to someone. You are conveying your ideas to someone. And you need to make sure that other people understand you, that other people can follow your thoughts, right? Okay, and I think all of you there in the chat box who participated in the chat box answered number one, because most of you said reason. She gave reasons and she gave examples, which made you as a listener, okay, you understood what she was saying. Oh, okay. And she backed up her reason why she believed that first year students should live on campus. So yes, that's an important aspect when you respond to this independent pair choice. All right. The first one is somewhere, okay, people who talk, who respond like this will receive a score of 3 or 4. Yeah? We'll talk about score after this. And of course, the second one is a test taker who receive a lower level score, which is a 1 or 2. All right? And I think you already know a little bit. You have a good feeling of why the first one got a better score than the second one. Okay? Hold on to that feeling. Hold on to that feeling. Hold on to your understanding and to your thoughts, right? Okay. Now, Santika said last week, when I think some of you practice with this, ada Ibu Hafil yang nanti menilai. I'm not the one who's going. Okay, who will rate? Sekarang kita bicara raters ya. Who's going to rate? Who will listen to your responses? All right, human raters. Okay, like us, like me. Human raters, although I'm not an ETS rater, but human raters, okay, certified by ETS, will rate the speaking responses in terms of 3 things: topic development, delivery, and language use. Okay? Yeah? Now, what is topic development? What is delivery? What is language use? You can find that here, the independent speaking rubrics. Go ahead, explore. It's in ets.org. Yeah? Please explore. You will find that. You can download that. Everyone who takes the IBT must know this rubric. ETS wants you to know this rubric. To make it fair, you must know how you will be rated, how you will be scored. You cannot take a test without understanding how you're going to be scored. All right? Now, yes, so that person, the first test taker, got a 4. Actually, the exact score was a 4 for her. Yeah? Okay? Now, you will want to make yourself, you will want to build your competence, okay? Your speaking competence in terms of 3 things. I'm talking now about your language competence, okay? In terms of delivery, in terms of the language use, and in terms of topic development. One of you said something about fluency tadi ya. What do we mean by fluency? Fluency is generally well-paced flow, fluid expression. You can see that she doesn't use much Okay. Speech is clear. Okay, I'm reading this. Speech is clear. It may include minor lapses It is not perfect. Everyone, the highest score of a 4 is never perfect. Because this is a test of English for foreign language, as a foreign language. Yeah. So we will never be perfect. All right. And they're not looking for people who are perfect, but they're looking for people whose speech is clear. You can make lapses, of course, or minor difficulties with pronunciation or intonation, okay, which do not affect. However, these lapses do not affect intelligibility. Now, this is a very beautiful word that you have to learn, all of you. Intelligible, intelligent, intelligibility. Okay. Do the two speakers sound like native speakers? That's my question. What do you think? Do the two speakers, do the two test takers sound like native speakers or not? Chat box. Do you think they're Americans? Do you think they're Australian? Do you think they're Canadians? No, not at all. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, the second one is an Indian, according to Christine. Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. It's okay to be Indian. It's okay to use Indian English. It's okay to sound like bledak bleduk. It's okay to sound like Japanese speaking English as long as it is intelligible. Intelligible means it does not create problems of understanding. I closed the door. I agree. Native speakers, I mean, everybody, by the way, there are now more non-native speaker than native speaker, yeah, of English, yeah. Okay, so the native speaker must understand us, right? All right. So intelligible, as long as intelligible, we can make sense. You can say agree, but you cannot say agree gitu loh, atau agree, ya nggak bisa. Because when you say agree, then you are creating big difficulties. It is not intelligible. All right? Okay, so I think that's one point that I need to make, to stress on, because some of my students are very concerned about pronunciation. You don't have to sound like an American. Please don't. You're Indonesian. Be proud. Okay? All right. So, language use. Here in language use, we have grammar, vocab. The sentences that you use, the vocabulary that you use. Is it basic sentence or is it already like compound, complex sentence? Right? Yeah. The vocabulary. Do you always say, I agree, I agree, I agree? Or do you say, I agree, I'm for it? I absolutely 100%, okay, support the idea. You see, you play. When you have a wide range of vocab, you play with the vocabulary to mean the same thing. And that's what they're looking for. That's what they are listening to. Okay? The raters, I mean. Topic development is something that you said, something that most of you or all of you said. Why number one is better? Because she gives reasons. It was clear. Why did she agree? Okay? Now, topic development. So it's not just English per se, but it is how you structure your ideas. Because if you do not structure your ideas, your pronunciation is great, your vocabulary is beautiful, your grammar is perfect, but you do not structure what you say. You do not develop your ideas well. People will never understand what you are saying. Okay? Okay. Yeah, so you can study this, and Yes, there is a zero, by the way. This is the lower end. So please study that on your own. I'm just giving you ideas on what is important and what you have to look at, okay, when you are practicing, when you are building your English skills for speaking. Yes, there is a zero. A zero means you make no attempt to respond. Ya udah, tinggal and breathe into the microphone. Literally, you breathe into the microphone.
City University's choir.
Okay, sorry, yeah. Now, I think that's all for the independent. Now we just have a taste. Let's have a taste, a look at the integrated speaking task. Okay, now, again, this is what you're going to see, yeah, on your screen. All right, and listen carefully.
City University's choir is changing its performance schedule next year. Read an article about it in the student newspaper. You will have 50 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now.
Okay, so what is it again? It's about a what? Chat box. It's about a what? Did anyone get that? Hello? It's about a what? A student article, to read the article. Yeah. To read the article about what? About what? University changing schedule. Nah. Okay, ya. Kaget ya. Okay. Now, focus. All right. Okay, focus ya. Focus.
City University's choir is changing its performance schedule next year. Read an article about it in the student newspaper.
Okay.
You will have 50 seconds to read the article. Begin reading now.
Okay, so I think now you understand. Yes, changing schedule. What schedule is changed? Now can you understand that better? What schedule is changed? The choir, yeah? The City University choir schedule is changing. Okay, now this is the article that you have to read. 50 seconds. Santika, can you help me? 50 seconds.
Okay, Bu, bentar. 50 seconds, right? Okay, I'm turning on the timer. Should we call anyone?
For
No?
what? Oh, let's see. If we can. Okay. I think everybody is courageous here, so they will volunteer.
Very much. So okay, 50 seconds is ready, Bu. Already start.
Yep.
All right, time's up. 50 seconds up. So we had someone just join us and we were in the silent reading. So yeah, that was the reading for the speaking. I hope you're not confused. Tadi ada yang masuk.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay,
Bu.
that was reading, yeah? 50 seconds. So everybody, for the integrated speaking task, okay, you have a reading, a short reading passage in which you read, you are given time, 50 seconds, right? It's not really that short, kan? Yeah. You know, because sometimes, you know, what's on our mind is that, seconds, not even 1 minute. But I think 50 seconds is quite long. You could read, it's a short text. Okay. Right. Now you know what the reading is about. you know what the reading is saying. Now, maybe at this point you're saying, tadi saya nggak nyatet. Ya kan, you have the paper, right? So don't forget, now with the TOEFL iBT, you can take notes. So make good use of the notes, of the papers that you get. Use it, all right? Okay, now let's listen to two people, okay, speaking about this, all right?
Now, listen to two students discussing the article.
Hey, you ready?
Jim, you're in the choir, right? What do you think about what they're doing next year? This article.
I really like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, the new director's right that it will motivate us.
How's that?
Well, some of the other schools are really good, so we'll really have to work hard to go up against them.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we don't rehearse more than once a week, but if we know we'd be competing with other schools, we probably rehearse more often and improve our singing a lot.
That's true. The more you practice, the better you get. So, what about what the article said about how this will help the program?
I hope it works. Right now, our program is pretty small, but we have some really talented people, and it would be great to attract even more people.
So, how will this plan help?
Well, if we go to these off-campus events and other people hear us and think we're really good, we might be able to get some new students interested in coming to this university to be a part of our music program and perform in our choir concerts.
You're right. I hadn't really thought about that.
Okay, so what's next? Yeah. So this is now the task. The man expresses his opinion about the change described in the article, briefly summarize the change, then state his opinion about the change and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion. Okay, so how much preparation time do we all have? 30 seconds. And how much time do we have to respond, to speak? 60 seconds, right? 1 minute. So this is longer than the 45 seconds in the independent speaking task. Okay, now this is why we call it integrated, because we had a reading. Remember your reading? Okay, and then we listen to two people, students, talking about that and giving opinion about it, right? And we're asked to speak about what? Summarize. Okay, what do we say? What do we have to do? We summarize the change. State his opinion, the man in the listening, okay? State his opinion about the change and explain the reasons he gives for holding that opinion. Okay, you are going to probably look at your notes in that 30 seconds, right? And prepare. Okay, Santika, I'm going to ask whether there are, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Are there anyone who would like to try responding to this, competing with the with the test taker number one and number two? Ayo, masa nggak bisa? Come on. Can we have a raise of hands from somebody?
We used to have so many hands up and volunteers last week, so Ibu Hafil and me are expecting a lot from you guys today. So much.
We got one. We got two already. Yay. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
we
two participants raised hand. We have Christine and Dimas.
Okay. Anyone? Yeah. Let's. All right.
Let's start with Christine.
Okay. Let's start with Christine. Christine, where are you?
Team, can you help unmuting Christine? And maybe if Christine wants to turn on the video.
Christine,
please raise your hand.
So that it's easier for us.
Oh, here. Ini udah aku coba unmute. Oh, where is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Christine, hi.
Hi.
Thank
Hi,
you for
Christine.
volunteering.
Hi.
Okay, Christine, you want to try? It's a 60-second. Yeah, Christine?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay,
Wait.
so I'll do the timer.
All right.
60
Is it on?
seconds, 1 minute, yeah. Okay, wait. Ibu, can you, Christine, do you need the questions again atau you're good?
I think I'm good.
You think, okay. Ibu, can we start? Okay.
Go ahead.
1 minute starts from now.
So actually, the man really approves to the idea of changing the schedule. For some reasons, he thinks that overall it will make the program grow and move better from now on. And there are two reasons for that. The first one that he mentioned that usually the choir just have a rehearsal for once in a week, but with this kind of schedule, he believes that the rehearsal time will be more than that. It could be more than once in a week. And then he believes in the choir, which have lots of talented people. It will attract more people to join the choir if they have this kind of competition on and off the campus. So I think he really agrees with this changing schedule thing, and it will bring so much more improvement to the choir itself.
All right.
How many
You
seconds
still
is that?
have, no, you still have 2 to 3 seconds left.
Oh,
I think it's perfect timing,
yeah.
right, Bu?
Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, perfect timing. Christine, how do you feel?
I still think that I can do much better than that. I was a bit nervous.
Why were you nervous? Because you saw all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps, yes, perhaps.
Don't worry, because in the real test, you're not going to see anybody, right?
Okay, yeah.
In the real test, you're just going to see that blank screen with the prompt, okay? And then you're just going to beep and then talk, all right? So it's quite, some of my students feel happier because they don't have to see us with our poker face, you know. By the way, when you do take a test with an interview, usually the raters are very well trained to put on a poker face. That means you go like that, statue. They're not going to go like this. They're not going to go, yeah, okay, Christine. No. They're going to just put on a poker face. So it's the same thing. All right. It doesn't matter whether it's in person or not. Okay. All right. You felt a bit nervous. Okay. How do you feel about your own? So what were you trying to do, Christine? From the 3, it's the same, yeah? Language use, topic development, fluid. Okay. Which you said I could do better. Which part?
I think I could use a lot more variety of words. I figured out that I used the same phrase like for 2 times. I think I should have thought faster for me, and then maybe I could improve more, but I have only like 1 minute, right? So I think that's better. I don't know. Any suggestions?
Did you record yourself?
No, I don't. I did not. Yes.
That's the thing that you need to do, all of you. Okay. When you practice, make sure that you record yourself. Okay. When you practice later on.
Okay. I hate listening to my own voice, actually.
You cannot hate listening. You have to love your own voice. You gotta love how you sound. Okay. So you gotta love yourself. So you have to listen, and then you can detect. All right. Okay. This is for everybody. Everybody, how do you train yourself speaking? You speak and you listen to yourself.
Right.
Then you will know. And you try to use the rubric. All right. When you get the rubric, right? You look at the topic development. Did I develop my topic? Did I explain what the man, why the man agreed, right? Because the man showed positive feelings, okay? And did I tell my whoever is listening to me why the man agreed, right? That's topic development, right? Did you elaborate on the reasons? Okay. And I think what you said was you focus on your language. You said I should use more vocabulary variety. You said something like that, yeah? And you are not sure. I think I used like 2 or 3 times the same phrase. Nah, be sure and record. When you record yourself and when you listen, then you can be sure. Gitu kan, Christine? Right? Was your voice loud enough? Yes, it's very clear. Pronunciation guys, I'm going to ask because I'm not the one who's only listening. I'm going to ask to everybody. Guys, was Christine's pronunciation intelligible or not? Remember the word intelligibility? I'm going to ask everybody to give. Come on, you're learning from each other.
Yes.
Hello?
That's a yes from me.
Very clear. Yes, from me. Okay. Yes, from Effie. Clear enough. Pronunciation intelligible? Andrea said 2 thumbs up. Okay, clear enough. Intelligible, yeah? Intelligible. Okay. Yeah, it's intelligible. Intelligible means, Christine, remember? Your pronunciation, even though it has accents, but people can understand what you're saying. Got it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now, and then I think it's on topic development, and I think your pacing, okay, itu delivery. Kalau the delivery itu the pace. Yeah. Did Christine speak too fast? Did Christine speak too slow? Did Christine speak fast and then suddenly Guys, what do you think? I'm gonna ask your friends to give you. What do you think about the pacing? Was it sustainable? What I mean is that was it like it's clear enough and it was well paced, not too fast, not too slow, and not fast, but then suddenly slow. Okay, so everybody said that your pacing is okay. I think your pacing was also okay, Christine. That's the pacing. I just have one feedback. Okay, you did mention about the choir once a week, and now that they will have more rehearsal.
Yes.
You said something like that, right? You know what I was waiting for? As a listener, I was waiting for so itu loh, the result. What is the result of having more than one rehearsal, right? Once a week. You got that? You explain that.
Yeah, I think I did mention that, but not as clearly as what I should have.
You mentioned that at the end, right? You mentioned that everything at the end. But as you were because you were explaining 2 things, right? It will attract. Yeah. Okay. So I would work more on your topic development. It's got to be very clear. Yeah. You can do it better. You can say that, okay, the choir will practice more, right? Often. Because of that, they will be blah, blah, blah. Okay. And the choir, because the choir has competitions now, attend competitions, of course, they will work better. They will improve, right?
Okay.
And other people will come to school because of that.
Can we feel like, use our own imagination, like think deeper out of the conversation, let's say? Can we? Cannot. I see. Okay. All right.
No. Don't.
Okay. Yeah.
Based on facts, all right? Just based on what you hear, based on what you read. Okay? Thank you, Christine. So everybody, can we have a reaction, virtual reaction?
Thanks.
Right? You can give a virtual reaction. I'm giving you a heart. Okay. Thank you, Christine.
I give the wave. I'm sorry. Here's the confetti.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Dimas.
Thanks, Christine. Okay, let's call up Dimas. Ibu, while we are at this, we actually had one question, tadi Bu. It's about,
Okay.
you know,
You want me to answer that right away? Sure. Mhm.
No, I mean like maybe later when we finish with Dimas or like other participants while we are on the speaking topic, maybe it's more relevant to answer that question, yang verbal filler or something. I don't know. It was there. Yeah, that one.
I mean, I think
The,
what I'm saying is, boleh, itu boleh. Automatically we will do that because we stall time, right? That is for stalling time because we're thinking, but do not do it too many times.
All right.
You don't say every sentence with I mean blah blah blah. What I mean blah blah blah. You know blah blah blah. Gitu loh.
Okay, so that answers Megan's question, and I think a lot of people's question. Like what I just did, it's very natural to do that.
Yeah, it is natural. It's okay.
So it's fine. Okay. And Christine is not alone. I mean, I also don't like to hear my own voice when I record it, and when I rewatch the YouTube and everything. But if this is for the TOEFL iBT test or other tests that you need to score high, then yes, by all means, just do it. Just practice it, okay? Thank you, Bu Hafil, for the tips. Okay, let's go for Dimas. Hi, Dimas. Thank you so much for volunteering.
Halo, Mbak Santika.
Hi.
Hi, Dimas.
Halo, Bu Hafil.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 1 minute starts now.
Okay, I think the reading portions discussed that the changing in the university choir schedules. The reason was because the choir entering competitions. So far, the choir only performs on campus, and because they entering this competition, they will need to prepare to perform off campus. And in the conversation portion, the man agrees with this idea because he thinks that when the choir enter the competitions, they need to train more, to have rehearsal more, and it will develop their skills and performance. And also it will make the choir a lot of exposures in the public eye, and it will gain attention the new. Okay, sorry.
Time's up. So yes, Ibu Hafil is still muted. So yes, you didn't have enough time, basically, because you haven't finished, right? Okay, Bu.
Yeah, okay. So Dimas, time management, okay? Actually, I like very much the way you presented your ideas. I think it was crystal clear, and I think in terms of topic development, it was very good. I was very much looking forward to what you're going to say about the public knows, and then ting trung, and then beep. That's what will happen. That's what's going to happen in the TOEFL, in the real TOEFL. You're going to be cut off. Yeah, right. Okay. So Dimas, how you can be more concise. Now, do you know? I think you understand the problem now. You have to be more concise. Itu ya, dipadatkan. And I think you went too much in explaining about the reading. Right? I think it took you like 3 sentences or something to explain about the reading, kan? Okay. So you can just talk about the reading in 1 sentence. If you just can make that shorter, package that more concise in 1 reading, right? There's an announcement. The announcement, states that the dean, blah, 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 to make a competition, because that would be a very good way to build the competence of the choir. Titik. Kamu harus pakai sentence yang rada-rada panjang gitu loh. You get it, Dimas? You know how you can make things concise? Is that you don't make simple, 3 simple sentences, combine it, and you can make 1 sentence and be more concise. Yeah? Okay? And I think in terms of the first reason why the men agreed, I think you did very well on that. Your topic development, very clear. So that's why I was really looking forward to hear what happened with the second one. Okay? Yeah? Right? Okay. Yeah? Okay, so that's from me. All right, everyone. Nah, so I think, nah, sekarang Dimas and Christine and everybody here, you practice, and then what do you look at? You practice, and don't forget to look at the what again? Is my screen already in my using it, showing my PowerPoint already?
Yes, Bu.
Hello.
But it's not in the full screen yet. I think.
It's not.
Yeah, I can still see those apps on the left side.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Right. So it's now full, yeah? Full screen. Okay. Yeah. Now, the key points that you need to remember, that you need to express. The key point is number one. The change is that the choir at City University will add off-campus competitions next year. Yeah. So the change is that they will have campus competition next year, and the man agrees with the plan. So Dimas, this is for Dimas. Dimas, kayak gini aja Dimas. As simple as that, to explain about what was in the reading. So you don't have to be too elaborate on the reading, because I think that's what made your time, okay? What made your time short, okay? Now, he agrees that performing in competitions will motivate the choir to improve, because then they would rehearse more often and therefore get better. Yeah. And the third one, he agrees that the off-campus events could help the program grow. And because of that, more people, all right, would see the choir, and that might interest new students or other people to come to the university. So this is like branding for the university. It's at the same time building a reputation and image. Okay? Okay. Now, I'm gonna show you now. I'm going to ask you to listen to the test taker responses, right? And maybe Christine and Dimas can now, what is that? Try to reflect. Yeah, try to reflect. Do I sound like number one or number two, or okay, do I sound from which am I? Yeah, okay. So this is test taker number one.
Actually, the student liked that program. First of all, his opinion was in the other school, maybe it's good, and you can work to improve singing a lot. And additionally, the program, he was talking about his program. It was small, but if you go to campus and to singing, and other students heard that, they will enjoy to come to this university. That's another things. In my opinion, I agree with this student. That's improving singing a lot in his university, and the program is.
Okay, guys. Okay, I'm going to ask you to reflect now, just for 30 seconds, right? Did you, as a listener, did you really understand what he was saying? Or were there like pieces of information that was missing? Okay. Topic development. Think of topic development. Okay. How he organized the information. Think of the delivery, pacing, intelligibility, speech, okay, intonation. Think of the third thing is, of course, you think of the grammar. and the vocabulary that's being used. Okay. Think about that. Yeah. And if you heard this and this is your best friend, or this is your big brother, okay, or your little brother who's going to go for a scholarship and has to take the IBT, what kind of advice would you give him in terms of the three? Satu-satu dulu, you will say, I wish, gitu kan. Bro, I wish you kenapa? Think of that. Yeah, just think of that. Just say that to yourself. I'm not going to ask you to write it, but I need you to think. Which part? Delivery, language use, grammar and vocab itu, and then you have the third one is the topic development. Which part would you start first? Does he need to, okay, do you think does he need to improve? Which part first? Satu-satu improve-nya. Okay? I wish. Saya nanyanya nanti, jawabnya apa? Okay, now listen to test taker number 2 with the same frame of mind. Yeah. Listen to delivery, listen to language use, listen to topic development. Okay.
There's a change in the organization of the choir schedule. The choir so far hosted only singing concerts on campus only, but next year there will be competitive events held in other locations. Jim, a member of the choir, likes that. There are a few reasons for that. First of all, he thinks that by engaging in competitive events, they will get more rehearsals and will improve their singing in a better way than they've been doing so far. And it will also help their choir program because although there are some people who have talent, the choir itself and the program is small. But if they go around on different competitions, other people might see how good their choir is and might wish to join the choir. That way, the size of the choir will improve, and that is generally a good thing. And those are 2 reasons why Jim, a member of the likes the changes.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to reflect in terms of, again, the 3 things, right? You have the language use, you have the delivery, and you have the topic development. Okay. And I'm going to give you 20 seconds for that. And then after that, I'd like you to tell me in the chat box, okay, tell me in the chat box, high score, okay, which of the 2 speaking responses for this integrated speaking probably, most probably, okay, belong to the higher level score. Test taker number 1 or test taker number 2? Which do you think belongs to the higher level score? Test taker number 1 or test taker number 2? Okay, chat box. Okay, we have already some posts coming in, some responses coming in. right? Everybody already done? Okay, so let's see, yeah? Let's see.
Actually,
There's a change.
Sorry. Okay, again, if we have the independent speaking rubric, we also have the integrated speaking rubric. Holistic scoring done by human raters. Okay, again, the scale score is the same, 0 to 4. Now let's take a look. All right. So the first response is the lower level response. The first response is the lower level response. Okay. Why? Because you might have noticed that the response contains some information connected to the task. But he does not give a very thorough explanation of why the student agrees. This is something that's missing, yeah, in which part of the three? If you look at this sentence, some of you might have noticed that the response contains some information connected to the task, but he does not give a very thorough explanation of why the student agrees. Just this sentence. This sentence refers to which of the three scoring component? Is it referring to delivery? Is it referring to topic development? Or is it referring to language use? Can you tell me? Santika, do we have chat box, please? The first statement, not yet. Okay. The first statement?
Not yet, Bu. Okay, there you go.
Nope. The first statement refers to, okay, thank you Adib, thank you Dimas, thank you Megan. Topic development. Yep, very clear. Yeah, okay. So topic development also means that you have to connect the task very well from the two, because this is integrated. You have to make that connection between the reading and the listening, right? Okay. The vocabulary and grammar were also very basic, with a number of errors in basic grammar. Okay. He speaks with a lot of hesitations. That's what we call the okay, hesitations. Because, and why does he hesitate? Why did he use a lot of that fillers? Why? Because he was looking for words. He was thinking about words to use. Apa ya? Apa tuh? You got it? And that's why he used a lot of fillers. He also never summarizes the change described in the article. Jadi, he did not, kalau tadi Dimas was elaborating a lot about the change in the article, this person did not say anything about the change. Okay? Yeah? Okay. Which is required by the question. Jadi, he did not respond well to the task. Okay? And aside from that, he also gave his own opinion at the end. Dia bilang, I think I agree with the man, which was not required by the question. So, if there was a question in the chat box, there was a question. Jadi kita boleh nggak? Atau tadi Christine was saying also, do we have to think about this and that, our own thoughts? Don't. Just because you have little time, yeah? Don't think of other things. Focus on what you got from the reading and connect it with the listening and present that connection very well. Okay? Okay. And of course, this one was given a 4. Ya. It is well organized. Ya kan? Oke, ini topic development berarti full response that covers all the key points. Remember the key points that I showed you? And it's easy to understand. Some of my students like vocabnya keren, gitu ya. Tapi nggak ngerti. Yang denger, yang nggak ngerti. Yang mengerti hanya dirinya yang menggunakan. Remember, with productive skills, with speaking and writing, it's not for you to understand. It's for other people to understand. Always put yourself in that position. He fully and accurately explains the change. Easy to understand because he explains the change in the article and the reasons the man agrees with that change. Connection, langsung. Yeah. His response shows he has good control of complex grammar and higher level vocab. He is very fluent and he speaks at a good pace. Ini tadi delivery ya. Nih. With only minor, again, not perfect. Minor, occasional difficulties with pronunciation. So this response meets the description of a level 4. Okay? Nah, jadi what I'm saying is that, right? What I'm saying is that all your responses here will be rated, scored based on the rubrics. So how do you study English? How do you develop your English for the speaking? Look at the rubrics. How do you practice? Listen to yourself. Like it or not, you got to listen to yourself. You know, we don't like to look at ourselves, I know, but we have to listen because we need for the sake of improving. Oh ternyata, saya tuh kalau ngomong muter-muter. Oh ternyata, saya nggak pernah habis ya kalimat saya. Jadi selalu, and that's why, yeah. Okay. So, now I'm going to talk about what the man thinks. The man thinks it's good because yeah, good for university lah. Itu nggak selesai loh kalimatnya. Semua diakhiri dengan ya, gitulah. How do you know that you say that if you do not reflect? Right? Okay. Now, so we will not be talking about the other integrated speaking task. But the other integrated speaking task involves reading a passage about an academic subject. Jadi ada reading. Listen to a lecture about the same topic. Yeah? Okay? And then answer a question based on reading, listening, and then speaking. Makanya namanya integrated. Okay. Di sini adalah preparation time and this one is your speaking time. Question number 4 is listen to an academic lecture. Nah ini seru. Ya kenapa sih? Ya because this is an academic assessment, right? Because you're going to study and you're going to hear academic lecture all the time, right? And be able to answer question about that. Ini termasuk integrated. Integratednya apa? Listening and then speaking. Kalau ini kan nggak ada apa-apa, tiba-tiba speaking, you were just given a prompt, okay? Okay, now, so Santika, I will answer about the speaking questions at the end, yeah? All right, yes. Everybody? Yeah. If there is a speaking independent and integrated, then there is also a writing that also consists of 2 tasks, independent and integrated. Okay, so the first writing task, all right, you will see a reading passage and you will be given 3 minutes to read the passage. After 3 minutes, the passage will disappear from your screen. And you're going to hear a 2-minute lecture about the same topic. It could be, the lecture could be giving a different perspective, the same topic, the same topic, but it could be from a different perspective. Yeah? Or the lecture gives additional information. It adds more information to the reading. There is the possibility, there are only 2 possibilities in the TOEFL. Either the listening talks about something that's contradictory to the reading, or the listening gives additional information. Yeah. After that, you will see the reading passage again, and you will be given a prompt. What do you need to do? You have 20 minutes to 20 minutes to respond. And it says, typically, a response, okay, a response for this kind of writing task consists of 150 to 225 words. There is a reason why they put down the number of words there. Because if it is less than 150, chances are, probability is, you will not cover enough information that's been given in the reading in connection to the lecture, or vice versa. You got that? Okay, you'll probably be missing a few points because you create only less than 150. So this is based on, it's like based on research, yeah? Well, for you to talk about the things that you read and the things that you heard, typical IBT integrated writing task ini, you will need around 150, more than 150, up to 225 to make this relationship very clear. Otherwise, it's going to be, it's not going to be enough what you express in your writing. Or if you make 500 words, emang nggak boleh, ma'am? Ya boleh-boleh aja, as long as it is 20 minutes. Tapi jangan isinya mutar-muter. Okay? So it's not just the number of words loh. Number of words ini hanya memberikan panduan ya, rambu. Biasanya untuk bisa mengcover all the aspects itu membutuhkan sekian kata. Oke? Nah, bentuknya seperti apa sih? Mari. Oke. So, can we, sebentar ya. Wait. All right. Okay, so everyone, we will have 3 minutes. Is that clear enough? Santika and everybody, is that clear for all of you to see? Is that clear enough, you think?
Clear.
Yeah. Okay, so Santika, can we just time them? We have 3 minutes for them to read this.
Okay, 3 minutes. All right, ready? Can we start, Bu?
Yes.
Okay, 3 minutes starts from now.
Take notes.
All right, time's up. 3 minutes up.
Okay, guys. So after 3 minutes, it will disappear. All right. And that's why don't forget to take notes. Take notes, yeah? Take notes. You should have taken notes. All right. Now, please listen to this lecture about the same topic.
No memoir can possibly be correct in every detail, but still, the Chevalier's memoir is pretty accurate overall and is, by and large, a reliable historical source. Let's look at the accuracy of the 3 episodes mentioned in the reading. First, the loan from the merchant. Well, that doesn't mean that the Chevalier was poor. Let me explain. We know that in Switzerland, the Chevalier spent huge amounts of money on parties and gambling, and he had wealth, but it was the kind of property you have to sell first to get money. So it usually took a few days to convert his assets into actual money. So when he ran out of cash, he had to borrow some while he was waiting for his money to arrive. But that's not being poor. Second, the conversations with Voltaire. The Chevalier states in his memoir that each night, immediately after conversing with Voltaire, he wrote down everything he could remember about that particular night's conversation. Evidently, the Chevalier kept his notes of these conversations for many years and referred to them when writing the memoir. Witnesses who lived with the Chevalier in his later life confirm that he regularly consulted notes and journals when composing the memoir. Third, the Chevalier's escape from the prison in Venice. Other prisoners in that prison had even more powerful friends than he did, and none of them were ever able to bribe their way to freedom. So bribery hardly seems likely in his case. The best evidence, though, comes from some old Venetian government documents. They indicate that soon after the Chevalier escaped from the prison, the ceiling of his old prison room had to be repaired. Why would they need to repair a ceiling unless he had escaped exactly as he said he did?
Okay. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask you to look at this. All right. Just tell me, is it the relationship between, okay, tell me, the relationship between the lecture and the reading, does it contradict each other? Okay, or let me put it this way. Does the lecture contradict the reading, or does the lecture support the reading? Okay. Yeah, contradict, yeah. So some of you have already said contradict. Contradicting, yes, Mirza. It is contradicting, okay? Therefore, now there are only 2 things. This is what I mentioned in the beginning, yeah? There are only two possibilities in the TOEFL for the integrated writing. The lecture either contradicts or the lecture supports. Therefore, when you take notes, nah ini bimbel, kalau ini udah bimbel ini. When you take notes, ini udah trik gitu loh. Ini udah triknya. When you take notes for the integrated writing, there are only 2 types of notes that you have to make. You either make a T, this is what we call T note, yeah, or you make like outline, something like this, or you make outlining. When the lecture contradicts, of course, you can put one aspect of the reading or one aspect of the lecture here and how it contradicts. How the lecture contradicts here, or how the reading contradicts. It It's up to you. You want to use the reading, you put the reading here, you want to you put the lecture here. But this is the T, that means it is contradictory. Okay? Okay. Now, question dulu ya Santika. Question, berapa, saya mau tanya dulu sebelum Santika nanya saya. Sebelum question and answer. Just want to ask you, how many things, okay? How many things was talked about? Because this was talking about the Chevalier's memoir. Itu kan? Okay. Nah, saya pengen tahu deh. The reading, jadi si reading actually, so let me just go back. The reading itu, okay, this is talking about the memoir kan? The Chevalier's long memoir. The reading said, ya, itu controversial, okay? And it says that since he met many famous people, including kings and writers, his memoir has become a valuable historical source, itu kan? But, okay, however, some critics have relied on the accuracy. So, what is the problem here? In the reading states the accuracy of the memoir may not be good enough. That means it is not accurate. It is not really accurate, right? Itu about Chevalier's memoir. And if you look at the reading, ini ada hubungannya. This has something to do nanti ke minggu depan pada saat kita bicara reading. Because when you are reading, look at the structure of the reading. Look at the structure of the reading. Oh, ini the general picture. Oh, ini intronya. Oh, ada si memoir. The accuracy is being questioned. Itu kan? Accuracy about what? The accuracy of. Lihat strukturnya. For example, his memoir, in his memoir, the Chevalier claims about wealthy, right? Number one, wealthy is not really accurate according, pokoknya hal-hal mengenai wealthy here is something that is not accurate according to the reading. What is the second one ya? Because we have the second paragraph kan. In the second paragraph, that means we have a different idea, right? So it's not talking about the wealthy anymore, but it's talking about the accuracy of the conversations with Voltaire, the famous writer. Okay, ada dua tuh. Inaccuracy, according to the reading. One is wealth, one is conversation with Voltaire. Number 3, about apa di sini? Escape from the notorious prison. That is according to the reading. In his memoir, when he talk about the escape, is not really accurate. Yeah. So how many things are being discussed about the memoir? How many things? How many things? Hello? Guys? Right? Ada yang mau jawab nggak for new messages? Siap. 3. Berarti if there are 3 things being discussed, there are also 3 things being what is that? Being read. Yeah, during the lecture. Okay? Okay. Now, this is how you do it. Gitu loh. Bagaimana bisa menjawab ini? Easy for integrated. It's either contradictory or support. And the key is in your note taking. All right? Okay. And next week, we will discuss how a person gets a 5. If in the speaking, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, In the writing, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So next week, we're going to review a little bit, touch on this, then we go to the reading section. All right. So I think that's a taste, yeah, of your reading integrated. Of your writing integrated writing. It's exciting, itu. It's exciting. All right. Sebelum saya ditanya, saya mau tanya dulu dong. How do you feel, guys, so far about this? About the test, I mean. Is it a boring test? Give me your feeling. Is it a boring test? Will you sleep during the test? Okay. Ada yang bilang very thought-provoking, very challenging. It's difficult, ma'am. Gitu kan. Terus writing, speaking is more challenging. Ya iyalah gitu. Katanya with people for short memory. Adib, remember ya, kan boleh catat. Masalahnya biasanya di anak-anak in my student is that mereka nggak bisa nyatet. Itu urusannya. Jadi bukan soal short memory, but they don't know how to take notes. Ya? Okay. Yes, it's exciting. Yeah, a test is always exciting. Okay. Thank you, Santika. All right, so I'm going to stop here. Okay. And I'm going to take their exciting questions. If there are exciting questions that I need to answer, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Ibu, for the presentation. And we will continue again next week. Yeah. And it will still about writing because as you mentioned.
And reading.
And reading. It is the most updated things in TOEFL iBT these days, right? Okay. So we got a few questions. We answered kind of half question for the speaking tadi from Megan. Megan tadi kan nanya, is it okay if we just use one reason but elaborated it by giving details for several sentences. Jadi tadi pas di speaking, if we give just one reason instead of like 3, for example, so I just give one reason, but I elaborated on why for a few sentences. Will that be okay? Or we have to have at least 2 or 3 things to say, like reasons to say.
Oh, okay. Megan, the only thing that I would be worried about if you give one reason is that you will not have enough to elaborate. Gitu loh. Ya, jadi misalnya nih, you just want to say supaya deket, gitu kan ya, because they are all new and so that to get around to different buildings in campus will be very close. So you don't, and it's supaya deket. Terus, you mau ngomong apa lagi gitu?
Right.
Misalnya, only you can take a walk, gitu kan? Or, ya kalau nggak walk apa dong yang terus menunjukkan deket, kan gitu kan? You got that, Megan. I'm just worried kalau cuma 1, unless memang alasannya itu bisa lari kemana-mana ya. Gitu ya, maksudnya bisa diurai banyak banget gitu. Tapi kalau tidak berarti you akan kehabisan mau ngomong apa lagi saya.
While you still have time remaining, jadi bakal ngurangin skor ya, Bu ya.
Ya iyalah, karena kan berarti tidak bisa mengelaborate gitu loh, bukan ya waktunya lebih banyak karena tidak bisa mengelaborate. Itu aja sih kalau memang bisa satu reason tapi elaborasinya banyak. Ya tergantung reasonnya apa gitu, Santika. You get it? Yeah.
Okay.
Megan,
understand.
Itu aja.
So the point is, it's not how many reason, but how will you be able to elaborate? Because that's where the points are given ya. Terus
topic development kan.
Yeah. And we already answered as well on the verbal pauses instead of complete silence. We think it's more natural to have verbal pauses like instead of like complete silence, right, Bu? Okay. Move to the next question. Dari tadi kan kita ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang using time ya, countdown gitu. And we have 2 participants here, Delpani dan Dimas, asking if in the real test, will there be like a countdown on the screen? Pasti ya Bu ya? Oke.
Counter.
Ya, ada
Kalau nggak
counternya.
mau lihat ya ditutup.
Yeah, but then suddenly when you read, you don't know how many time left. Terus tiba-tiba udah hilang. So yeah, the timer will always be present if you need. Yeah, I think it's just reasonable karena kayak pas kita speaking kita bisa dikasih slot misalnya 60 seconds atau 1 minute speaking time. Then they will also show that. So you don't have to worry about the countdown. Because I do it manually here with Bu Hafil, it will be automatic in the test. Okay. Next one, still from Delpani. Do we need to paraphrase the ideas of the speaker since we are asked to summarize and explain the reasons he or she holds? Harus di paraphrase atau kayak we can like, you know,
quote unquote,
write the same things that what we heard. Exactly.
The funny, the reason would be, okay, it is better for you to paraphrase because then when you paraphrase, you are showing off. Ingat ya, tadi ada 3 kan? The the delivery, and then the second one is the language use, ya kan? Nah, jadi when you paraphrase itu you are showing off, you are telling us how much grammar and how much vocabulary you know. Sampai-sampai you mendengar orang ngomong begini, jadi misalnya kan si the man, saya nggak tahu the man itu ngomong I agree atau I'm for it atau gimana gitu kan ya. Tapi you do not just quote gitu loh. The man agrees because he said that he, jadi itu menjadi quote atau menjadi reported speech ya. Kita mereport the speech. Like Santika just said that we time you manually. Kan gitu kan? Ya, jadi saya mengutip apa kata Santika. Nah, salah, tapi tujuan bahwa my language, I do not have, seakan-akan saya tidak punya enough language to be able to use other words and other sentences to describe what Santika said. Gitu loh. Jadi lebih baik paraphrase karena itu berarti menunjukkan you know vocabulary and you know how to make your own sentences, bukan hanya mengutip orang. Alright, nanti kamu kenanya di situ, kenanya di vocabulary itu, di language use, ya. Oke, I hope that's clear enough.
Yeah.
Itu.
Clear. Okay. Thank you so much for that. So, yeah, the point why we are being tested like that is like Ibu Hafil said, they want us to show that we are able to explain something in English of what we have heard before. Jadi nggak mungkin kan kamu tiap kali ngomong ke orang lain tuh kayak kamu harus ingat exact words and quote that person. So that's what it means for you to understand the language and retell what you have heard. Okay, jadi ya paraphrase itu I think it's necessary and it's graded that way. Next, I think this is already in the writing section from Amalia in Instagram. I hope you're still watching. Untuk integrated task 1 tenses yang dipakai, apakah past tense karena kita report apa yang orang udah bilang atau bisa present tense ya Bu? Does it matter? Because this is
It does. Because you read it, right? Jadi kan the passage stated that the memoir may not be accurate. Okay. Yeah. So you stick to that, and then the lecture refuted or disagreed with this blah blah blah. Okay.
Okay.
So
terus we have 2 questions left. Satu dari Kansa in Zoom. I have a question. If we choose to take the TOEFL iBT Home Edition. Ini agak technical, Bu, but just in case you know, if we take TOEFL iBT at Home Edition, should we change the paper for taking notes to an erasable whiteboard? Because she read that the one in the GRE Home Edition will not allow us for a regular paper to take notes. So how about the TOEFL iBT?
I'm not so sure about that. Okay, so you better check. I think, Santika, you can give them, please go to ets.org.
Yeah, and
right?
find out the requirements.
Yeah, and find out the requirement, how it's going to be assessed, all right?
Okay.
I also have a link. I think I will give it next week, okay? Santika, remind me, in the YouTube, there is also the TOEFL official YouTube channel.
Okay, for the Home Edition?
Right. And they talk in one of the sequence, they talk about the Home Edition. So there is like an ETS official talking about what is the Home Edition, what to expect in the Home Edition. I know that it's the same, but as long as note taking is concerned, that I'm not too sure of. Okay, whether they will let you use this, okay, or they will let you use like a visible whiteboard or something.
Right. Yeah. So you will have to check what the Home Edition test look like, but you will definitely have a chance to take notes. The thing that I want to point out is TOEFL iBT is different from GRE in the sense of what they are testing. GRE also tests for your arithmetic skills or mathematics skills, while TOEFL iBT is only English. So if GRE doesn't allow you to have like a paper notes, it's because probably they're concerned on things that you can have on your notes before you start the GRE test. While for TOEFL iBT, you will not, you know, for example, like the passage, you only have 60 seconds or a few seconds to take note. So even if you have something on your notes, I mean, what are the chances that you can, you know, kayak cheat gitulah istilahnya. So I think
cheat-sheetnya susah.
Yeah, cheat-sheetnya susah. So I don't know exactly the answer for that as
but
well.
I'll find out.
But
I'll try to find out.
We will find out through the ets.org website, and you can do that as well for yourself. And if you cannot find it, you can come to me and let's discuss about it, and I'll try to find it for you. Okay.
I think Megan already helped out, Santika. Megan helped out.
Thank
because
you.
she said that my friend took the Home Edition iBT and she said we need to use the whiteboard.
Whiteboard instead of paper.
That's what I thought.
That's why you maybe need to install other applications or software so that you can use the TOEFL iBT Home Edition. Okay. And all of the details are on the website, so don't worry too much about that. And we move to our supposedly last question. This is from Christine. When we write in the test, in the real test, do we have a word counter? As far as I remember, back then, years ago, ada word counternya. So you don't have to worry. The same thing with the... Sama ya, Bu ya? The same as the timing, the timer.
Kayak nulis di Word aja when we are using Word, you know, ada word counter. It's the same.
And it's going to be visible because, of course, they limit you for your response to 150 to 200 something words. So it's just fair to show that how many words left you have. Okay. And last
limit, hold on, Santika.
Yeah,
limit sih bukan berarti kamu terus nggak bisa nulis lagi ya setelah 225 ya. Berarti kamu kan tadi saya bilang, you can bisa nulis sampai 500 loh, tapi muter-muter isinya gitu.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they won't hold back on you going over 150 sampai 200 berapa yang di suggest atau diminta. But of course if you go over, it will not be kind of like sesuai apa yang mereka minta. But you can still write it.
Ya, walaupun tidak ada penalti ya. Jadi kembali lagi, please download the rubric, gitu kan? Jadi hopefully you have already downloaded the rubric. Next week, of course, I will show like the what is that? The rubric ya for writing, right? Di situ nanti kalau you lihat sendiri itu nggak ada loh yang mengatakan bahwa dapat 1 karena because it's 500 over 225 words. Nggak pernah dibilang begitu. Itu hanya patokan, oke. So, untuk memberi gambaran bahwa kamu akan bisa menulis dan mengcover dengan baik bila mana memang tulisannya kurang lebih sebanyak itu.
Right.
Hanya patokan aja.
Ya, cuman patokan, tapi if you can follow that patokan ya Bu ya, karena tadi kayak Ibu bilang kalau 500 kata pasti muter-muter. So we will talk more about the writing, like maybe talking about the structure ya Bu next week. So Isti have a question about that. So Isti, please come again next week on the same day, Saturday, 11 until 1 p.m. We will talk more in depth about the writing and the question that you ask, kayak paragrafnya gimana, lalala gitu. Okay. Terus ini dari Maharshal Fat di Zoom. How long usually practice to take TOEFL iBT test? So it varies from one person to another. It really depends on the individual and the English level of a person. So usually we suggest you to start as early as you can. No matter when you think you want or need the TOEFL iBT or other English proficiency test. Kalau spesifik di Education USA at America, kita suggest start preparing. Kalau misalnya kamu mau apply for fall 2022, you need to start preparing at least 1 year before. Kalau bisa 2 years before, and that's when you start learning all of the things that you need, including TOEFL iBT or other English proficiency test. Jadi kita suggest-nya sebenarnya minimal 1 tahun sebelumnya untuk mulai ya gini, mungkin belajar dikit-dikit dulu dari Ibu Hafil on the TOEFL iBT, lihat kamu cocok apa enggak and everything like that. Okay? More tips will come soon, but if you follow the sessions from 1 until we finish later, we make sure that you kind of know how you can practice for TOEFL iBT, dan kemarin juga udah di-share resources-nya. We want to emphasize that this is the introduction ya Bu ya. The full one happened in the past, and I will be able to share it to those who really need it and who plan to study to the States, okay? I shared it in the Zoom chat box, but if you are not in Zoom, you can email me at salim@educationusa.org, and I'll give you the form for you to fill in, and we will talk later. All right, thank you so much, Bu Hafil. I will see you again next week. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Bu Hafil and everyone. So we will see you next week. And I am giving this back to our Ed America team, to James.
Thank you so much, Kak Santika. Thank you so much to our speaker, Bu Hafil, along with our moderator, Kak Santika, for today's very informative session. It's been great having you guys with us. Earlier in the event, we asked our audience members a question. When was the TOEFL established? And the correct answer to that is option A, the 1960s. TOEFL was first established in 1964 with the more recent version, the TOEFL iBT, being introduced in 2005. Shout out goes to Suleiman from Facebook for answering correctly. And thank you to everyone who has participated. Don't forget to tune in next time for another chance to get a shout out from us. Earlier in the event, we mentioned handing out vouchers for TOEFL and an American standardized test of your choice. For further information, visit our link at atam.tv/academania for more information. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea for a place like this? It's very easy. All you need to do is go to our website at www.atamerica.or.id, select Create a Program, and click Collaborate with us. All event proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. You can also subscribe to our newsletter for all our weekly updates. And that's it, everyone. That wraps this episode. It's been fun, but we have to say goodbye for now. Follow our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at @ATAmerica for all our fun contents, event updates, and so much more. Thank you again, everyone, for joining. My name is James, and I'll see you at the next At America TV episode. Goodbye.